Lisa and I am a SHYPP resident, and today I will be interviewing
Sarah Carr. I'm the Liberal Democrat parliamentary candidate for Hereford and South Herefordshire constituency.
In a sentence, could you please explain what a parliamentary candidate is?
A parliamentary candidate is someone who is selected by one of the political parties to be their candidate to be Member of Parliament at the next general election.
Why did you choose to be a parliamentary candidate?
I chose to be a parliamentary candidate because I really want to make a difference in the world. I really want to help people, and I think it's the most practical way I can do it. I'm not afraid to roll my sleeves up and get involved and try and make things better, to ask difficult questions, and I think that it'd be something I'd be really good at, standing up for people and making their voice heard.
So what are your party's most important policies, you think?
Okay, well, for the Liberal Democrats, it's all about fairness. That's what it comes down to for us. So all of our policies are rooted in fairness. So the one policy that's really popular at the moment is that we want to make sure that those people paying up to £10,000 their tax allowance are not taxed on that £10,000. So if you earn £16,000, £10,000 of it is not taxed. So it's giving those people on lower incomes and middle incomes more money in their pockets. And the way we pay for it is by ensuring that those people who are the very richest in society are paying their fair share. Another policy which I think is really important, again under this whole issue of fairness, is education. We want to see more money, £2.5 billion more going into education to give people the support they need. So if you look at primary schools, cutting down class sizes to make them smaller so there's more interaction with the teacher, and also having something called a pupil premium. So in a school where one pupil does really need extra support, making sure the money is there to make that happen. A third thing for fairness, again, would be ensuring that we've got sustainable green jobs. So we're looking to the future of the planet and protecting it for future generations, not just for today. So those are three things, but there's so much more. Everything from the NHS, which is really important, to transport, to absolutely everything. But I think one of the things that really kind of tops it up for me is the Liberal Democrats are the only party that's really challenged the status quo in Parliament, because it seems that Parliament's become a bit rotten and it has nothing to do with everyday life. And so the Liberal Democrats really want to reform Parliament and how it works to make sure it's more accountable to people.
Yeah, okay. What services and activities do you think young people really need in Hereford?
Well, I would like a multi-screen cinema.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd like an ice rink.
Yeah, I really like ice rink.
I used to do a lot of ice skating.
Yeah.
And it'd be brilliant. And I've got a little girl as well, so bringing up a family in Hereford means that I want the best possible things for my family as well as for everyone else. I've suggested to the guys that are doing the regeneration of Hereford that they want to put a climbing wall in there, because I think that'd be again something. But more places to go which don't revolve around alcohol. It's a place where you can just hang out.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, without any pressure, just somewhere to go that's safe and dry. Yeah. And people can just be who they want to be.
What do you think of the current housing situation for young people in Hereford?
Well, the current housing situation for everybody is pretty shocking. Yeah. There are over 5,000 people on the register waiting for homes, and at the same time there are 2,500 people in the county, I've discovered, 2,000 homes which are currently empty, sitting there with no one in them. Yeah. So there's a lot that can be done to bring those homes back into use so that people could live in them. So it's pretty poor for young people, especially those people who are trying to get on the housing ladder as well, because houses are too expensive and wages are too low. And so something really has to be done. One of the practical things that I think could be done is the council could introduce a rule which is all houses that are built, 50% of them are affordable. Currently it's 30%, but the demand is much higher. And so the council could take that action themselves.
The majority of my friends are not very interested in politics or voting or all of that. How would you make it more interesting for young people to kind of get involved in politics and in their local area want to know what's going on?
Well, I think politics seems so far removed from everyone's daily lives, has nothing to do with what you do, but actually it's everything to do with what we do. So we've got to try and make it more relevant. When you look at the House of Commons now, someone referred to it as London Zoo, and it isn't far off, and it's so unrepresentative. It's full of white, male, middle class blokes. Yeah, who've had the same background. A lot have gone to Eton and Oxford, but it should be far more representative of society. There's a shooting gallery in the House of Commons for shooting, but there's no creche, which kind of says quite a lot about how outdated it is, that even women aren't welcome in the House of Commons. So it's no surprise that a lot of people are turned off by politics, because it doesn't seem to be at all to do with people's lives. So what I'd like to do is to just be as approachable as I possibly can be, so people can go, oh Sarah, I've got this problem, and I'll go, yeah, absolutely, and I have a very approachable style. It's just who I am, and if I'm fortunate to be elected as the next Member of Parliament, I want to keep it that way. So people know they can pick up the phone, they can drop me an email, they can get hold of me on Facebook, on Twitter, all the different ways, and know that I'm there for them primarily, and that I want to serve the people in Hereford and South Herefordshire and be the best possible MP, standing up for their needs, you know, whether it's affordable housing, more leisure facilities, all the different issues. Know that I'll be there and be regular and approachable, and I think that would make a big difference in politics if it felt like it was approachable and more about everyday life.
How will you support the UK Youth Parliament candidates for Hereford?
I think a really good idea, I've spoken to a couple of them in the past, and a really good idea would have things like joint surgeries, so they can come along, and if I'm elected as Member of Parliament, be with me into surgery, and we can have it specifically on youth issues. And so young people who come in and say, oh, this is my youth Member of Parliament, but this is also my Member of Parliament in Westminster, and between the two of us, or whoever's there on the Youth Parliament that day for Herefordshire, because it was 2 reps, to come in and just be there and just support them in what they do.
What do you think about Gordon Brown going on a chat show?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think politicians have to recognise that it isn't like it used to be. They can't be standoffish. They've actually got to be part of today's culture. And that means going on chat shows. It means after all the expenses, problems in Parliament, you've got to be completely clean, completely transparent, completely honest. And if that means going in magazines or going on chat shows, that's the way it's got to be. You've got to be open about your values, your life, who you are, and it goes with the job. It really does.
Okay, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
The general election will be in the next 6 weeks. It's your chance to decide who you want to be your next Member of Parliament, to decide what the laws are in this country, but also to make sure we get more affordable housing, more facilities for young people here in Herefordshire. Everyone over the age of 18 has the entitlement to vote. But shockingly, huge numbers of young people are not on the electoral register, which is held by Herefordshire Council. So if you want to vote, and you really should vote, please get in touch with Herefordshire Council to make sure that your name is down on the voting list so that you can vote in the general election.